Folks, today I'm going to turn the clock back about 4 years and talk about a need that we had with one of my previous employers. This was about 4.5 years ago. We were responsible for taking all the input for new financial products and essentially running it through this assessment process. There was really no uniform solution available or process that we can use to go through these assessments, approvals, and eventually launch the product. Um, so one of the need was to have ServiceNow kind of built this for us. And although I was not in the the project at the time, I'm strictly going to recreate this based on memory and based on what we needed. So sit tight and we will go through this. So initially, I wanted to talk about sort of what the approach will be for the solution. As I mentioned, the need for this would be to create this workflow process where we can take each product and eventually go through the different stages or the idea stage, right? I'm going to use Pearson Spectrolate. That's a reference from my favorite show, Suits. So a lot of the characters that are going to be used, the personas I'm going to be using in this video, are based on those characters from that show. As far as the solution overview, again, we're creating this dedicated portal workspace where somebody can just come in and submit the information, the financial product requirements, and then essentially go through the different stages. So idea stage, through assessment, approval, and eventually launch. Each key stakeholder, including the product managers and compliance, legal, and PMs, will also be will have the opportunity to collaborate and to track progress of each initiative. There's going to be some custom tables, some workflows, and some assessment questionnaires that will be generated from this product. As well as notifications. There were also going to be some like I'm going to go and create the product assessment workflow. So again, the flow will work where you have the idea, you submit the idea, and then actions are derived or created or triggered by through the portal. When you submit this idea, there's will be some automation in there. That sort of product record will be created once you submit the initial proposal. Um, there's also going to be some initial screening. So, if there's some tasks that need to be out and need to be created and sent out, that would be done at the initial screening place as well. Automation is key here. As you can see, automation is pretty much all over this place, all over the requirements that we have here. So that's what we're trying to do, right? Simplify the process. Once we have once we go through the initial screening, we move on to the cross-functional assessment, where different teams will get to chime in and provide their questions or their approvals or denial of each product. And then, which I mentioned here, then the approval and decision-making process is tracked. Once all the assessment is completed, that's where we would record and memorialize those approvals. And then once we have the approvals, we will move on to launch and post-launch review. Again, this is a product when we actually say, okay, we have it ready to go, goes to the development teams. If there is involvement from those teams, and then those teams will have the opportunity to provide that. And once we're ready to go, provide those solutions that are going to support the product launch. Once we have it, we launch the product, and then we start tracking, what went wrong, what went right, what went wrong with the product itself. So quick and easy, we're going to be going through this. So we can keep the video under 10 minutes, which is what our goal is here. We're going to start this. So we're going to use App Engine Studio.